Good day everyone and welcome to today's Vamo Book Club Auto Spotlight section. It's a privilege to host a work of remarkable depth and historical resonance between those words by Michael Newman. This novel presents a layered exploration of history, identity, and human endurance, thoughtfully weaving real historical elements with compelling storytelling. It's a work that not only informs but invites reflection on the human experience across time. We are honored to have the author with us today. Please join me in welcoming Michael Newman. Michael Newman, to begin, can you please introduce yourself to our audience and share your background as a writer?
Absolutely. Thank you, Josephine. Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Newman, and welcome to this session of Spotlight of the Vermont Book Club. I'd like to begin by letting you know how the genesis of the book started, which was from a trip my wife and I took to Berlin a number of years ago on vacation. And we were walking along a street, and I noticed a number of uh, brass plaques embedded in the pavement with names engraved upon them. I inquired from uh, someone that was walking by as to what those plaques represented, and they represented the names of families that lived in the apartment buildings above those plaques that were shipped off to Nazi concentration camps, including Auschwitz. And it was at that point in time that I decided that it would be interesting to find out who occupied those apartments and how they came into possession of them during the war and after the war. And so I decided to create a couple of German families, some Jewish, some not, some from followers of Hitler. And I decided to create the story of the families and write about them. From Berlin, my wife and I went on to Berchtesgaden, which was where Hitler's Eagle's Nest wartime headquarters was. And we did the tour, and I added to my story that I was writing. And after that came the most emotional part of the trip, which was to visit Mauthausen, which was a Second World War German concentration camp that my father was incarcerated in for 8 months from November of 1944 to May of 1945. And I visited uh, the places where he had been and added to the story. And the story is not only of what happens during war, but how one individual comes to terms with his heritage, what he thought he was, and when he receives a parcel from Berlin, secured with security tape, he finds out who he really was and that he was actually not the Jewish kid that he thought he was growing up in New York, but that he was born the son of an SS officer. And this is the gist of the story, where we combine with the main protagonist in the book, who is faced with a life altering choice to correct the most egregious of wrongs that happened during the war. And it was a 2 year journey for me to write the book, to create the characters, to do the research. I read a lot of World War II history books, and it was very, very cathartic to write this book, and it's done quite well on Amazon and on Goodreads. So that's basically the genesis of the book. I'm the son of Holocaust survivors. I'm a Hungarian refugee. I escaped Hungary in 1956 during that country's revolt against Soviet rule and came to Canada, established myself as an entrepreneur, and have started to write and have written so far 3 books, one of whom has been published, two which are sequels are still to be published, and we're working on a film adaptation of the book Between These Walls that we hope will be playing in theaters within a couple of years, I would